Citation will go to a man that Efutu loves, a man that has Efutu on his heart. And to do the presentation, we would like to call Dr. Alex Briar Bonny to come and do this presentation. And this citation goes to the Honorable Kennedy Akompreku Agyapong.
Let's put our hands together for Honorable Kennedy Agyapong as the regional youth organizer makes his way here to receive this citation on behalf of the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong.
Let's put our hands together. Let's put our hands together. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is loved by the people of Efutu. He has Efutu on his heart. And so this citation is given to him on behalf of the Efutu Traditional Council and on behalf of the Osahin Alexander Afenyo Markins to him for all that he's done for us and for the constituency. Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Kennedy Akompreku Agyapong enya passport kese ewo Efutu a Osahin Afenyo Markins any the good people of Efutu ne nananom ahemfo na celebrate Kennedy Akompreku Agyapong say omo entwen Emma Papai and more the Abua Ghana. See, we see Abua the Central region. We see Abua mouthful no or moment in no Maka kind tribute no. Enti or more Buddha da Kasiapa and or more Abo a year Kennedy Akompreku Agyapong Basopa. Nebusia somewhere be told Ghana see who this video. Mouthphobia has here prove him Muno Mutim Sromano. Na me pesi ejebre ebra na chese ye this citation Emma Akompreku Kennedy Agyapong. Now the MC, some more kafa when your uncle, Dr. Parkwesi Nduom, one abo man for the business-minded people. Our Madrid Ghana for him, and Abasubano come on more. Afenyo Markins, Papa, or one kaya papa. Me did say, man for na your boy more abrabomu, is your more abrabomu, yena yetimo, and the tis Afenyo Markins, anka Ghana obi enka so bi ebunyaye. Because Osha said the Kennedy abo manfobi na manfobi down wachi dina tankan semense fata na Afenyo Markins ayi nyame akoma so de anyway na yentie the course how the MC describe Akompreku Kennedy Agyapong me hu say ne kra erebechichi na ne beje say nya manfo nyina de betray no eyi ne maye ebu ho no mo say papa oye ma no obejira na chi ye he dwumade nsi de si course Afenyo Markins dey assess ginamu so Sky channel no Gemfi Media 24.
Our citation will go to a man that Efutu loves, a man that has Efutu on his heart. And to do the presentation, we would like to call Dr. Alex Briar Bonny to come and do this presentation. And this citation goes to the Honorable Kennedy Akompreku Agyapong.
Let's put our hands together for Honorable Kennedy Agyapong as the regional youth organizer makes his way here to receive this citation on behalf of the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong.
Let's put our hands together. Let's put our hands together. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is loved by the people of Efutu. He has Efutu on his heart. And so this citation is given to him on behalf of the Efutu Traditional Council and on behalf of the Osahin Alexander Afenyo Markins to him for all that he's done for us and for the constituency. Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes. So let's take the next one. And this one goes to a man who has distinguished himself as a businessman, somebody who the Honorable Alexander Afenyo Markins has consistently said, had it not been for his intervention, he may not have attended a senior high school. Ladies and gentlemen, this one goes to Dr. Papa Kwesi Nduom.
And to do this presentation, we would like to humbly request the presence of the
Osahin Afenyo Markins will do this presentation for us. The Osahin himself. So on behalf of Dr. Nduom, let's call Dr. Esibu to receive this on behalf of Dr. Papa Kwesi Nduom. So Doc, please join us on stage.
Please let's put our hands together as Osahin himself comes to make this presentation. So a citation in honor of Dr. Papa Kwesi Nduom from the Honorable Osahin Alexander coming off your marking himself to Dr. Papa Kwesi Nduom. Thank you very much, Osahin, for doing us the honors. Thank you very much.
Yeah, idea Osaye. Nipa ya idea Osaye. Ye who say bet me do what say chimpa nke na ye do be say a. Excellence, they say, is a journey, a continuous journey, not an absolute destination. Your food, your panel, and your piano, and the engineer, a piano. When you put a seed inside the belly of the earth, new crop pop up out of their death. Also, death wasn't the end, but the beginning of a new birth. When the night is darkest, that is when the star shines brightest. So challenges was enough inspiration that created in us aspiration. So when crisis rises, that is when true heroes rises. So on that beautiful shores of life that we saw, the footsteps of the giant that make the mark. But remember that a marker was made to make a mark. But a marker can't make a mark unless it has a holder. So how could he, should he be on top unless he stands on our shoulder? Isaac Newton said it best that I could only see further because I stood on the shoulders of the giant. So even as I space my mind round like a merry-go-round, there's one truth I found. That the white and black keys on the keyboard, when played together, make a beautiful sound. But when one is played without the other, that beautiful sound is never found. So let's stick together. Na odoye. Hwemesuna mindi binti na otwe ne otwe enam na nya twema mentwe. Timumyenyi wetimi wakame emfiemu na efutu ene Ghana ebeye. Medamase.
That is a masterpiece from Dampare. Now let's do another presentation. And this one goes to a woman who I believe has come from the Efutu municipality or the Efutu area and has risen through the ranks and files of our political space. He has served the people diligently, first as a judge and ultimately as the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. Right. This one goes to Her Ladyship, Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokono.
Araba Isaba. Her Ladyship, the former Chief Justice, Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokono.
And to help us do this presentation, shall we call on Nana Odum Amanfo the fourth, if I'm right. Let's welcome Nana.
We will humbly request the presence of Madam Gloria Aka, Madam Abeyansma, to receive this citation on behalf of the former Chief Justice of the land, Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokono. Let's put it together for Madam Gloria Aka as she prepares to come.
A special one for a distinguished personality who hails from this very land and has served the very people she was made and meant to serve. Thank you.
Akuko bobon, obeku bobon, akuko bobon, obeku bobon wa. Ona mi yayi tina sa sa ku madari mi jai. Akuko bobon, obeku bobon, akuko bobon, obeku bobon wa. Ona mi yayi tina sa sa ku madari mi jai. Oh, akuko bobon madai, obeku. Akuko bobon, obeku bobon, akuko bobon, obeku bobon wa. Ona mi yayi tina sa sa ku madari mi jai. Akuko bobon, obeku bobon, akuko bobon, obeku bobon wa. Ona mi yayi tina sa sa ku madari mi jai. Oh, baby. Hey. Akoko bobo madate. Yago. Enya safu basa. Enya safu basa na yaka. Pimegwe na yaruko. Hey, hey, yaro, yaro. Enya safu basa na yaka pimegwe na yaruko. Hey, hey, yaro, yaro. Ikumana sana mai baba. Ikumana sana mai baba. Odumak magbazi. Odumak magbazi. Obi ikumana sana mai baba. Ikumana sana mai baba. Oh, 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 ikumana sana mai baba. Odumak magbazi. Odumak magbazi. Obi kumana sana mai baba. Soya, anuwa ni wa bape. Anuwa ni wa bape. Anuwa ni wa bebra. Anuwa ni wa bape. Anuwa.
Thank you.
Now, a bit about his parliamentary career and national leadership. It is one thing to rise through personal perseverance and professional achievement, but it is another thing entirely to carry the burden of national leadership within democratic institutions where decisions affect millions of lives. The parliamentary career and national leadership journey of Osahe offers important lessons on democratic governance, accountability, institutional leadership, and public service within Ghana's Fourth Republic. His political journey in Parliament has evolved steadily through responsibility, experience, and institutional engagement. From serving as Member of Parliament for Efutu to becoming Deputy Majority Leader, and then Majority Leader, and now Minority Leader of Parliament, his leadership trajectory reflects not only political advancement, but also growing national responsibility within Ghana's democratic framework. Within Parliament, he has served on key committees, including the Appointments Committee, Business Committee, Finance Committee, Public Accounts Committee, Defense and Interior Committee, and the Standing Orders Committee. These responsibilities have placed him at the center of legislative scrutiny, national policy discussions, constitutional oversight, and parliamentary governance. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout his parliamentary engagements, Osahe Afenyo Markins has consistently emphasized institutional strengthening and democratic accountability. During parliamentary debates recently concerning national resource agreements, including discussions surrounding aspects of the Ghana-Barari DV lithium lease agreement, concerns were raised regarding transparency, revenue analysis, and protection of Ghana's national interests. The minority maintained that accountability and proper scrutiny must remain central to the management of national resources. Similarly, during deliberations on the Security and Intelligence Agencies Bill recently, concerns were once again raised regarding oversight mechanisms and democratic accountability within security governance structures. Whether one agrees politically or not, such parliamentary debates remain essential within every healthy democracy because democratic institutions become stronger through constructive scrutiny, debate, and accountability. Indeed, democracies weaken when institutions stop questioning power. One important feature of Honorable Afenyo Markins' parliamentary philosophy has been his consistent advocacy for strong institutions rather than excessive dependence on personalities. At various public engagements, he has emphasized the need for Ghana to build institutional systems capable of sustaining national development beyond changing political administrations. As minority leader, he has repeatedly stressed the importance of parliamentary scrutiny over public programs and government expenditure, arguing that transparency and legislative oversight are necessary for accountability within governance systems. At a recent parliamentary media briefing, he questioned why major national programs have been launched without parliamentary briefing and scrutiny, emphasizing that oversight remains necessary for constitutional governance and responsible use of public resources. Osahe's parliamentary journey also reflects the difficult balancing act required within democratic leadership. Leadership within parliament demands negotiation, compromise, resilience, emotional discipline, and respect for opposing views. Democratic governance does not require uniformity of opinion. Rather, democracy requires the ability to manage disagreements peacefully within institutional frameworks. Now to the role of tradition, culture, and community. No society can achieve sustainable development if it loses its sense of identity, values, and communal responsibility. Beyond constitutions, laws, and political institutions, nations are ultimately held together by shared culture, collective memory, moral values, and social cohesion. This is why tradition and culture remain essential pillars of leadership and nation building. Modern development must never require the abandonment of cultural identity. Rather, genuine development must build upon the values, wisdom, discipline, and social structures that communities have preserved across generations. Indeed, one of the greatest mistakes many developing societies make is in assuming that modernization requires cultural disconnection. History teaches us something different. The world's most developed societies did not progress by abandoning their identities. They progressed by preserving their values while adapting to changing realities. As Osahe recently observed during reflections on the Abuache Festival, culture gives aspiration while history gives inspiration. That statement carries profound meaning. People without cultural identity eventually lose social direction, and societies that lose historical consciousness often struggle to preserve unity, discipline, and continuity. Ladies and gentlemen, the Futu traditional area itself offers a powerful example of how culture can strengthen communal identity and unity. The Abuache Festival, one of Ghana's most celebrated traditional festivals, is not just an annual cultural event. It is a living expression of history, bravery, continuity, ancestral reverence, and collective identity. Osahe recently described it as a repository of identity, resistance, continuity, and shared memory. Beyond celebration, it also serves as a system through which values, traditions, discipline, and historical consciousness are transmitted from one generation to another through rituals, storytelling, and communal participation. Ladies and gentlemen, the role of Osahe Afenyo Markins of a Futu also reflects the important relationship between traditional leadership and public service. The title Osahen, meaning chief warrior, carries deep historical and symbolical significance within the Futu state. In this role, he serves as a unifying figure between the Asafo companies and the traditional authority structure. During the recent Abuache celebrations, his active ceremonial leadership symbolized not just cultural participation, but the restoration of an important traditional institution associated with unity, order, and communal identity. This demonstrates another important lesson. Leadership must remain connected to people, heritage, and community values. Modern governance becomes stronger when it respects cultural identity and social cohesion. Another important role of culture in society is its ability to unite people beyond political, religious, and social differences. Once again, in reflecting on this year's peaceful Abuache celebrations, Osahen commended the people of Efutu for demonstrating unity and peaceful coexistence despite past misunderstandings and divisions. He called on citizens to reconcile as one people and contribute our quota toward the total development and growth of Efutu and Ghana. Now, a message to our young people here. Permit me at this stage to speak directly to the young people gathered here today. The future of every nation is ultimately determined not only by the quality of its current leadership, but by the character of the generation preparing to inherit responsibility tomorrow. Therefore, the conversation about selfless leadership cannot end with today's leaders alone. It must extend deliberately to the next generation. Young people of Ghana, your generation stands at a defining moment in history. You are growing up in an era of rapid technological change, global competition, political polarization, economic uncertainty, and increasing social pressure. You are exposed daily to images of wealth, influence, and success that often creates the false impression that leadership is about visibility, status, and personal gain. But true leadership is not measured by popularity. It is measured by responsibility. Society does not become better simply because educated people exist. Society becomes better when educated people develop character, discipline, integrity, and commitment to service. As I conclude this lecture, permit me to return to the central question that has guided our reflections today. What kind of leadership must we cultivate if we truly desire stronger institutions, greater public trust, and sustainable national development? Throughout this lecture, we have reflected on selfless leadership, public service, accountability, democratic participation, institutional responsibility, and the importance of integrity in national life. We have examined leadership not as political authority, but as moral responsibility. And perhaps the most important lesson from today's reflections is this: leadership is temporary, but legacy is permanent. Political office will pass. Titles will change. Power will shift from one generation to another, but integrity endures. Long after leaders leave office, society remembers whether leadership united or divided people, whether institutions were strengthened or weakened, whether public office served citizens or personal interests, and whether leadership inspired hope or disappointment. This is why leadership must always remain rooted in service, because service is the true measure of leadership. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I take my seat, permit me to express sincere appreciation to the organizers of this important public lecture. I commend the Futu tradition